New sunshine morning, blessed with another day. This is human life cycle under pandemic COVID-19 outbreak. So the city of Saharanpur now also came to the unlock phase, and only 3 cities of Uttar Pradesh is now under the lockdown phase. So India will be marking unlocking phase. And here we have begun with news headlines. So the starting point is Prime Minister's address to the nation. So let's have a Zoom journey.
All right, massive announcement there by the Prime Minister. Remember, Times Now had earlier run the campaign asking that there be centralized procurement of vaccines. Chief ministers of various states had also written to the centre requesting that the country revert to the earlier process where the vaccines were centrally procured by the union government and then distributed free of cost to all the states. Now, here is how this formula is going to work from here on. 75% of the vaccines available with the manufacturer are going to be taken by the centre and given free of cost to all the states. The remaining 25% is going to be procured or will be available for procurement, will be available for purchase by the private hospitals. And even there, the government has made a very important announcement that over the cost of purchase from the manufacturer, the private hospitals can only charge a service fee of 150 rupees. Remember, in private hospitals, so right now in public hospitals, government hospitals, vaccination is free of charge for everyone. In private hospitals, the complaint was that the amount being charged by the hospitals was arbitrary. For example, if Covaxin is being purchased from the manufacturer at 1200 rupees per dose, for the private hospitals, they were being charged, people were being charged anything from 1300 rupees to 1850 rupees. Now with the government's instruction, a maximum of 1350 rupees can be charged per dose by private hospitals. In addition to that, the Prime Minister also said that the Garib Kalyan Yojana is going to be extended until Diwali. But this, the most important part, of course, is the fact that we have reverted to centralized procurement of vaccines, and this kicks in 2 weeks from now.
Welcome back here with us on Times Now. Let's talk about another important update coming from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and BJP is now targeting Akhilesh Yadav after his father Mulayam Singh Yadav took COVID vaccine, saying that even Mulayam didn't listen to what Akhilesh had said about vaccine earlier. BJP has now demanded an apology from Akhilesh Yadav for calling COVID vaccine a BJP vaccine. Remember, Akhilesh in the past had said that he's not going to take the coronavirus vaccine as it is a BJP vaccine, which BJP is also seeing as one of the few reasons that led to vaccine hesitancy in some parts of the country. Here's what Akhilesh Yadav had said earlier.
देखिए, मैं तो नहीं लगवाऊंगा अभी वैक्सीन, मैंने अपनी बात कह दी, और वो भी बीजेपी लगाएगी उसका भरोसा करूंगा मैं? अरे जाओ भाई, अरे अपनी सरकार आएगी सबको फ्री वैक्सीन लगेगी, हम बीजेपी का वैक्सीन नहीं लगवा सकते.
Let's now go across to Times Now's contributor Shehzad Poonawalla joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Shehzad, now BJP clearly is reminding Akhilesh Yadav of his own comment earlier that led to vaccine hesitancy for sure in some parts of the country.
Absolutely, and that's what the BJP is doing. It's actually driving home the point. That statement, the controversial statement by Akhilesh Yadav, wasn't an isolated statement. You'd remember a series of SP leaders coming out with ridiculous statements that perhaps led to vaccine hesitancy. And now when Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, a senior person, a senior politician of the country, suffers from a lot of health issues as well, has taken the vaccine, while complimenting him, Keshav Prasad Maurya, the Deputy Chief Minister, and Swatantradip Singh, who's the UP BJP chief and also spokesperson like Nupur Sharma, while congratulating him, have in a sense taken a pot shot at Akhilesh Yadav, saying that even the father does not want to believe the kind of quote-unquote anargal bayan of the young leader, and that now Akhilesh Yadav should perhaps apologize to the people because of his statement. A lot of vaccine hesitancy would have been caused, and perhaps now he will learn from the footsteps of his father.
Moving on to big development coming to the fore in the illegal coal and cattle smuggling investigation. The CBI has now laid its hands on crucial evidence that prime accused Vinay Mishra has surrendered his Indian citizenship. This happened in December 2020, is what the CBI believes. We're also given to understand that the modus operandi that is being seen in this particular case and the accused Vinay Mishra is similar to that of Mehul Choksi, is what the CBI believes. Shershi is with us for more on this. Shershi, what more can you share with us? What have you gathered from your sources within the agency?
Well, very interesting developments in the coal and cattle smuggling scam that is being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation here. What we understand, prime accused and absconding Vinay Mishra, who was the Trinamool Congress Yuva Morcha leader, has given up his Indian citizenship and has taken citizenship of a nation in the Pacific Islands called Vanuatu. And this entire development happened at a time when the CBI was probing the case, at the time when Kingpin in Inamul Haq had been arrested by the CBI. Now what we pick up, we have accessed MEA documents, and as per the MEA documents, Vinay Mishra has taken up the citizenship of Vanuatu in November 2020, and thereafter at Dubai's Indian consulate, he went and submitted his Indian passport and his Indian citizenship. He surrendered his Indian citizenship and he has become a citizen of Vanuatu in Pacific Islands. Why this is significant is because the modus operandi is almost exactly like Mehul Choksi, who is also a fugitive and is being probed by the Indian agencies. And the CBI sources here say that they have got in touch with MEA regarding this fresh development, considering there's already a red corner notice against Vinay Mishra. They already have an arrest warrant. Remember, he has skipped several summons by the CBI in the coal and cattle smuggling scam. Earlier also he had asked for time from the CBI if he could appear virtually, but that was denied by the CBI. They want him to be present in person. His brother Vikas Mishra was arrested in New Delhi by the Enforcement Directorate in the same case. But of course, things now look a little different in this case, as Vinay Mishra, the prime accused, who the CBI is looking at questioning to join the dots in this case, which has several high-profile politicians also linked to it, has now surrendered his Indian citizenship back in December 2020, and he's become a citizen of Vanuatu. CBI in close touch with the MEA in his extradition process.
Absolutely. Now, a red corner notice is also issued against Vinay Mishra, and the modus operandi that the CBI is seeing at is the similar one that was employed by Mehul Choksi, who is also now undergoing trial in a separate case in a country where he is a citizenship, where he has citizenship of. We do know, Shershi, that he did surrender his citizenship, Vinay Mishra, but has it been processed? What have you gathered from the MEA or from the authorities concerned?
Well, as per the Indian law, you cannot have dual citizenship. That is something that we already know. Vinay Mishra back in November 2020 had gone to Vanuatu and taken citizenship. Thereafter, sometime in December 2020, that is 22nd December 2020, he went and surrendered his Indian passport and citizenship at the Indian consulate in Dubai. That was processed. He had given the reason, the fact that he had become a citizenship or he had taken up the citizenship of Vanuatu. He will not be a citizen of India as per the rule of law here. And he had given up his Indian passport, which has been returned to him. Interestingly, the fresh passport that has been issued to him has been issued from Port Vila in Vanuatu, in this small island in Pacific, closer to Australia. But very interestingly, as we were pointing out, the modus operandi is exactly like how Mehul Choksi had escaped from the law here in India and now also remains in Dominica. And similarly, we see Vinay Mishra doing the same thing in this Pacific island. But of course, the CBI has begun the process of getting this entire case in front of the MEA to begin his extradition process, because he already has a red corner notice by the Interpol against him.
Absolutely.
On, and there's some breaking update now coming at this point in time. Indian Medical Association has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi requesting his personal intervention to resolve IMA's plea to ensure optimum milieu for medical professionals to work without fear. That is the update now coming at this point in time. A demand has been made by Indian Medical Association to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they want some kind of intervention from his side so that medical professionals in this country can work without fear. Mohit Sharma joining us on the broadcast. More on this. Mohit, what exactly has triggered this letter from IMA to Prime Minister Modi?
Well, Hina, there have been a spate of incidents with regards to doctors. If you look at it in the past 1 week or so, there have been several doctors who've been assaulted by the family members of the victims who they were in fact treating. And more importantly, there have been certain allegations coming in from the IMA that there are certain people who have been trying to, promote disinformation and spreading lies against not just allopathy as a whole, but more importantly, against doctors and vaccination process as well. So now the IMA has in fact written directly to the Prime Minister asking for his intervention and immediate intervention at that, in order to ensure that first and foremost that this assault on doctors, whether we talk about the ideological assault or physical assault, can be stopped immediately. And secondly, to also once again reiterate that how vaccine remains the #1 weapon against coronavirus, and the same should be promoted. And if at all somebody is found propagating or spreading misinformation against the same, action should be taken against those persons.
All right. Thank you very much for the moment for joining us with all of those details, Mohit. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this update. Some breaking update as well coming at this point in time. The HRD Ministry is going to convene a meeting of the Vice Chancellors of Central Universities to discuss the implementation of Central University Common Entrance Test this week itself. In fact, the Ministry is also going to announce the new dates for JEE Main of April and May cycles and NEET UG for the next 15 days. So important meeting is expected to happen and the important issue of entrance tests of various universities, NEET as well as JEE expected to be discussed. Kangana joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Kangana, give us more details.
Well, Hina, we all know that because due to the surge in the number of COVID cases from beginning of April, we had seen that how JEE Main and NEET undergraduate exams were not cancelled, they were postponed basically. So now the testing agency, National Testing Agency, they will be conducting these exams, but the date of these exams, the conduction of date of these exams will be announced by the HRD Ministry in the next 15 days. Apart from that, the HRD Ministry will also be convening a meeting with the vice chancellors of various universities, like for example IP University, Ambedkar University, DU, Jamia and JNU. So all these 5 or 6 central universities, their deans and their vice chancellors will be meeting with the HRD Minister to discuss how that higher education institutes like all these universities will be planning an entrance examination. For example, we know that JNU Vice Chancellor Jagdish Kumar had already informed the students that there will be an entrance exam, and whenever it is safe to conduct this in an entrance exam, they will be implementing the entrance exam. But there are other universities, for example, like DU and other universities who depend on the Central University's Common Entrance Test, and which will be a good method, as said by the HRD Ministry officials, that it will be a good method based on.
For joining us with all of those details, we'll keep coming back to you for more on that big story.
Here today we have converted our new day to a learning day, where we have the inspirational speech and key points and key takeaway of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who have quoted and shared his vision. Later, then we have checked out the scam report development, then HRD Ministry meetings, various phases of pandemic COVID-19. Everything served as a news platter for you all. So with a promise to bring you again with new information all around your development. So hereby concluding for today, thank you for visiting. See you again soon.